Electro Optic Systems is experiencing strong momentum across its core markets. Andreas Schwer states that both the counter-drone and space control businesses are benefiting from escalating geopolitical tensions and substantial government investment. I caught up with Andreas Schwer, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Electro Optic Systems.
The market is extremely positive for Electro Optic Systems. As you know, we are active in two market segments, some very strategic market segments. One is the counter-US, the anti-drone business, and the other one, the so-called satellite control or space control business. Both segments are in an extreme upswing. The counter-drone business driven by geopolitical conflicts and tensions, and the second one also by the recent announcement of the US administration to invest more than $175 billion into a program called Golden Dome.
Do you see, could you refer to this as a super cycle that's underway at the moment, particularly given also the tech disruptions perhaps you're playing on, and just how sustainable that's likely to be?
On the one side, it's a super cycle that's correct, driven by geopolitical context and crisis. But even if those crises will come to an end, the surge demand will continue for at least 7 to 10 years to just replenish and refill the emptied stocks around the world. That's on the one side. On the other side, the anti-drone warfare is not a kind of temporary effect. It will continue and it will characterize all the procurement needs over the next decades to come.
All right, so in particular, you've got Europe rearming, you've got those tensions, particularly in the Middle East. Do you have some sort of product roadmap that is playing out, given perhaps what's the demand you're seeing at the moment?
Electro Optic Systems has by far the broadest product range in remote weapon stations, which is the effector of choice for cannon-based air defense and for anti-drone warfare. To defeat drones of class 1, 2 and 3, we have recently brought to the market the R150, the most lightweight system, and the R800, the most powerful remote weapon station to the market. This is complementing our Slinger product and gives us the opportunity to act to any kind of threat in that domain. On top of that, we have recently introduced our 100 kilowatt laser weapon system. We are the first company worldwide having signed a 100 kilowatt export contract for that one. And we hope that this type of weapon system will also dominate the effector market in the anti-drone warfare scenario over the next decades to come.
You mentioned your Slinger product there. That's battle tested, I understand?
Yes, the Slinger is battle tested. More than 200 units are operating very successfully in the current Ukraine war.
When we look at drone technology and its use in warfare, it is changing so dramatically. How are you keeping ahead of that, particularly in terms of your R&D?
We have a direct contact to what is happening at the front line. We are frequently in Ukraine. We have a direct link to not only the operations people, the soldiers at the front, but also to the military behind. That is giving us the opportunity to always know first what is happening, what kinds of innovation is coming up on the front line. And as a small and very agile company, we are able in a particular way to react in a very quick and smart way on that.
What about your space systems? Together, you've got some diversification there. Can you tell us a little more about what you're doing in that space?
Our space business was for decades a business devoted to provide space intelligence information for governments to see what's ongoing in space, military clients, but also commercial clients. We've decided to expand this type of business to include what we call space control. Space control allows our users to engage against objects in space, to engage against satellites from ground in space.
Do you have specific targets in mind for that business?
Yes, we want to have the full product range available within the next 2 to 3 years to allow our clients to act accordingly.
Overall, how do you see your product pipeline at the moment?
As we have unveiled lots of new products in the RWS range, we want to provide one more model to the market, which we call the R500. It's the first second generation weapon station featuring all artificial intelligence and mesh network capabilities to our client. It will start production mid of 2026 and it will revolutionize the RWS, the remote weapon station market.
Are you chasing big contracts, or is more important perhaps those recurring contracts?
There's a couple of medium-sized contracts in the pipeline, but also some very large contracts which we expect to sign hopefully within the next 9 to 12 months, contracts which will change our revenue expectations significantly.
Here in Australia, I gather you've been part of a winning bid in terms of a counter-drone project. Can you tell us a little more about that?
It is the Australian Land 156 program. It is the standard counter-UAS program in the future. All the Australian forces will be equipped with those kind of systems coming out of this program. We are partnering up with a company Leidos, and our system has been selected to be the baseline for this future type of drone defense within the Australian borderlines.
Now, Andreas, you had recently released your results. Can you tell us a little more about that, the financials, how well you're placed at the moment?
I mean, our business is quite seasonal. It's driven by some few big contracts. One contract came to an end at the beginning of this year. The next big ones are about to be signed and to start soon, coming into the revenue curve. So it was quite natural and expected from us that this year, the first half is slightly weaker than the last year. So it is very back and loaded 2025. That did not come to a surprise. We knew that, and we will meet market and analyst expectations.
How's your balance sheet looking just in terms of debt and perhaps any need to raise further capital?
You might remember that when we took over, the new management took over the company in summer 2022, we were forced to take a significant loan on board to refinance the company. This loan has been paid back in full by the beginning of this year. So EOS is a debt-free company, and we have significant cash reserves, a significant level of liquidity. So it was a very successful financial turnaround.
Andreas, do you see your growth going forward as being purely organic, or are you perhaps looking for acquisitions?
We've announced that we are looking proactively for acquisitions. So hopefully we'll be in a position to announce something over the next few months to come. But it's not only our growth through acquisitions, we also plan to organically grow, which we can do not only by the enlarged product range of remote weapon systems, but also by the laser weapons, which are coming now into play, forming up a new product line, which will significantly add to the revenue, as one laser system sells at a significantly higher price tag than a remote weapon station.
So what would your message be to prospective investors as to why they should invest in Electro Optic Systems?
We are not only active in the very booming defense business, we are active in two niche markets within defense, which are predominantly driven by the actual market needs. So those two segments are characterized by probably being one of the very strongest growth sectors in the future. And secondly, within those segments, we are perfectly located and situated, as we have the strongest product range in place, and we are best in class in terms of performance.